State health experts are raising concerns about increasing COVID-19 cases due to the highly contagious Delta variant. Wednesday, the Minnesota Department of Health reported more than 1,400 new cases. Cities in the northwest suburbs have some of the highest case rates in Hennepin County. This as officials reopen some testing sites because of high demand. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
According to health officials, the Delta variant doesn't want to seem to let up. COVID-19 cases are increasing in Hennepin County, especially in the Northwest Metro. This graphic shows high case rates in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, New Hope, and Robbinsdale. All of those cities now have more than 30 cases per 100,000 residents. Just a month ago, these case rates were in the single digits.
The Delta variant is just so much more infectious than anything we've dealt with COVID before.
The Minnesota Department of Health says they're seeing more demand for testing as infections increase. As a result, they are reopening 2 testing sites.
Reopened our site in Bloomington, which is at the old DMV office, and we've also reopened our site at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in downtown St. Paul.
The Brooklyn Park testing site here at the Starlight Center remains open and is one of the most successful locations. Now, officials say they are seeing an uptick in people coming in to get tested.
We've had some of our highest testing numbers. And what we've seen, if we look at the number of tests given at the Starlight Center there in Brooklyn Park, it's doubled since a month ago.
Meanwhile, officials are worried about COVID-19 infections rising as the new school year gets underway. They recommend school districts follow the CDC guidelines.
They strongly recommend universal masking in all schools. And what that means, it's not a recommendation to mask. It is a recommendation for school boards to require masking.
The Minnesota Department of Health is recommending regular testing at schools for staff and students, and the state is making it easier for schools to make that happen. They're providing financial and testing resources. It's a volunteer program, and parents have to opt into it. The Robbinsdale School District is participating in the program. They sent this note out to parents on Tuesday. Meanwhile, health experts are encouraging everyone to wear face protection indoors, regardless of vaccination status.
The CDC recommends, with the level of spread that we have in Minnesota, recommends indoor masking.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
A Plymouth man who spent 2 months in the hospital battling COVID-19 last year is making a plea for people to get vaccinated.
Just put aside your political affiliations and get vaccinated. If you love your family and love your community, just be responsible.
Reggie McAllister contracted COVID-19 last April. He said his kidneys failed and he came close to dying due to an underlying heart condition. Wednesday morning, he joined medical professionals from Hennepin Healthcare to encourage others, especially people of color, to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The plea comes as Hennepin Healthcare has seen a steady rise in COVID-19 among unvaccinated patients.
What we know today is that our hospital is full of people in the ICU who are unvaccinated, young people of color, and they're dying from COVID. That's what we know today.
A COVID vaccine incentive program is happening right now at the state fair. Anyone who receives their first shot will get a $100 Visa gift card. Authorities have identified a Brooklyn Center man who apparently was accidentally shot and killed by his own daughter following a dispute on Interstate 94. 62-year-old Melvin Troy died from a gunshot wound to the head on Saturday, August 21st. According to a criminal complaint obtained by CCX News, Troy was a passenger in a vehicle when he got into an argument with another passenger that turned physical. The complaint says the driver, Takesha Deadweiler, pulled over and tried to stop the fight between the two men when she pulled out a gun. And that's when a single shot was fired. Deadweiler's father was killed, but the complaint says she had her gun pointed at the other man, telling him to stop. Deadweiler is charged with 2 counts of felony manslaughter. She's due back in court later this month. Meanwhile, authorities have identified a New Hope motorcyclist who died this week from injuries sustained in a crash in Minnetonka. 35-year-old Daniel Hauser was riding his Harley-Davidson motorcycle when he crashed, taking an exit ramp from northbound Interstate 494 to Minnetonka Boulevard. According to the State Patrol, Hauser went off the roadway and was ejected. He was not wearing a helmet. The crash happened August 13th. Hauser died from his injuries on Sunday. According to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, the state has reached 300 traffic accident deaths before Labor Day for the first time since 2007. About 40% of the deaths are linked to speeding. Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman announced Wednesday that he will not seek re-election. Freeman's term expires next year. He will have served 24 years as Hennepin County Attorney, and that's the longest in that role. Freeman, who turns 74 next year, wrote that it's time to move on. His office received nearly 4 million emails and 29,000 voicemails after George Floyd died under the knee of a Minneapolis police officer last year. And it's a busy time of year for the Salvation Army. On Wednesday in Brooklyn Park, volunteers helped distribute hundreds of backpacks filled with supplies for kids headed back to school. The effort was done by drive-through due to the ongoing pandemic. The Salvation Army says while it did not reach its goal of 5,000 backpacks, its efforts will continue because it is a growing need.
When families have to make a choice between paying for their mortgage or putting food on the table, they will pay for their mortgage, they will pay for those things that are most urgent, and then some of the other things kind of get left or fall through the cracks. And that affects really the children because they don't have what they need to succeed.
While the backpack drive may be over, people can still donate financially. A $25 donation helps purchase a filled backpack for a child in need.
The Wayzata volleyball team was undefeated last fall but didn't get a chance to compete for a championship since the state tournament was canceled due to the pandemic. They look like a title threat this season in the new Class 4A. The Trojans faced a tough opponent early this week. Scott Jackson and top-ranked Wayzata facing number 7 Chaska in a good volleyball matchup. It's a good battle in the first set. Chaska works the slide play to Avery Rosenberg, who goes cross-court for the kill, and the Hawks lead at 15-11. Wayzata rallies back. They go outside to Sierra Moore for the power hit, and the Trojans quickly tie it up at 15-15. And they finish strong. Stella Swenson with a great set for Avery Jesowitz, and the sophomore delivers for a 23-21 lead. Wayzata wins the opening set 25-22 over the Hawks. Second set, and Swenson with a back set right side to Katie Revere for the kill, and the Trojans grab a 12-9 lead. Although Chaska battles back, Wayzata closes it out strong again as Emma Gerger delivers on the slide for set point in a 25-17 Trojans win. They go up 2-0. Chaska is not done. Gopher basketball recruit Mallory Heyer hammers it home in the third set as the Hawks go up 14-13. They lead deep into the set before Wayzata pulls out the win. Off a scramble, Moore delivers match point as Wayzata wins a high-level matchup, getting the sweep over Chaska. The Trojans also swept Rogers on Tuesday. Well, high school football teams are getting in their final workouts before season opening games Thursday or Friday night. Here's Jason Malillo with a preview of the Breck Mustangs.
Go! The Breck football team is grinding through its preseason practices and figuring out how a lot of new pieces will fit together.
We graduated almost 20 kids last year that took up a lot of those starting spots.
Some of the new kids did play JV last year, but some are also completely new to football.
I see a lot of drive. I see a lot of determination. They want to get better. They want to compete. And that's all we can ask for them.
Veteran Mustang players have a big role in helping their younger teammates.
When we tell them to fix something, they get on it, they fix it. We don't like repeated mistakes here. That's one thing coaches always told us. We like to make a mistake once, but fix it and don't make it again.
I think we're going to need a lot of young guys to step up this year, and it should be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for guys to step up and show what they got.
Starting quarterback Charlie Reichs is back. He's a versatile QB who will see more time on defense this season as well. Wide receivers Xander Williams and Carter Tyson will be reliable playmakers and will also anchor the secondary. The biggest work in progress for the Mustangs is probably the offensive line.
We're going to be inexperienced up front. That's not a mystery, right? So it's a matter of us putting together schemes that get the ball out quick and adjusting to what your talent is.
We're lacking size. We always are here, but we always learn how to work with it. they'll come together. I'm sure of it.
Breck had a good squad in 2020, but COVID cast a shadow over its 6-1 record. The Mustangs will be driven to repeat that success in 2021. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
The Mustangs open the season at home Friday night at 7 o'clock. And we here at CCX kick off our high school game coverage Thursday night with a great rivalry game. Osseo hosts Maple Grove Thursday night at 7 o'clock. The Crimson defeated the Orioles 31-7 in last year's matchup. Ryan Iverson and Allie Mosley will join me for the broadcast starting at 6:54 p.m. Then on Friday, it's the season opening game for the Park Center Pirates as PC hosts Bloomington Kennedy. Again, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff that night. Watch for live coverage just before 7 here on CCX1 and on our website, ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. I'm Jay Wilcox.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.